Good evening to everybody. Once again, it is Monday night, which of course means it is another episode 23, I do believe, of the League 2 Hour. At the moment, it is just myself, Lee. Unsurprisingly, he's having issues with his Wi-Fi, hoping he will join us very soon. So what we'll do is I'll go through a few comments, and then hopefully Lee will be able to join us to talk about the weekend's games, 11 of which we need to get through. No team scored more than 2, but still plenty of talking points. I'm going to put one comment up in a minute as well that I want to get put to the chat. Around the grounds entered the studio. Bear with us 2 seconds. Yellow card at the ready.
I don't know what we were StreamYard. So I usually sync it from here to there, and it we're just not doing it.
We keep joking about a GoFundMe page, but I think we might have to. I hope you're good, mate. You're not missed too much. We're just about to go through comments and then we'll crack on. Kerry is in the chat, Oldham fan. Do not forget to mention how epic were this week. I'm sure myself and Lee will get to that game. Bongle says, good evening, gents. Evening to you, buddy. Jonathan Harries is live in the chat. Evening, mate. Good to see you. I know you struggle to watch live because of work and shift patterns, but good to see you. Welcome to this evening's show. James Marland, another Oldham fan, is in the chat. Evening, mate. Sid, the Bradford fan, is having a dip into League Two. How are you, Sid?
Good.
And Nick Castleton, Gillingham fan, friend of the channel. Good evening, Matt. And hopefully Lee soon. He is here, mate, but we don't know for how long. It's like a lone player at the moment. You know he's good, but he don't hang around. Oh, here he is. Kerry says, oh, here he is. So a lot of the chat is surrounding Lee's late arrival. Hazza says, evening, gents. Troy's back in the chat. Evening, Matt and Lee. Hope you're all good. Yes, I'm all good, mate. Thank you. 8.5 hour journey to Barrow. 7.5 hours back was made all that bit sweeter by that 103rd minute goal.
I thought you were going to say because of the fish and chips.
Fish and chips was nice. Not great, not going to lie. We will get to fish and chip chat, but yeah, not as good as Crewe, Fleetwood, Grimsby. Soggy batter. No one likes soggy batter.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be crispy, isn't it?
Yeah, it was, you know, when it's sticking to the chips and you're having to peel the paper off its arse. That's never fun, is it? But it went in. Like Robbie's shot, it went in. It did a job. Right. Let's get to the first games. Oh, I want to put a question up. Let's put it up and then we'll do more comments in a little while, because the things you talk about when you're on a coach for 8 hours.
I think McDonald's Wi-Fi is better than mine.
To be fair, yeah. McDonald's, Weatherspoons, there are other Wi-Fi's available. We do have to be careful what we say. But when you're on an 8.5 hour coach journey that involves 3 accidents on the M1 and a couple of diversions, chat becomes a little bit different. On Saturday, the conversation centred around Lucky Confectionary and the choice of fellow Gills fan Nick, who you will have seen on all of my away days, picks a Star Bar. So does any of you have a lucky snack that you think has a magical impact on performances and results? And yes, we'd been on a coach for so long that there were chants of Star Bar again, ole, ole, when we got back on the coach. And I'm pretty sure me and another fan were swinging a Star Bar around our heads at full time.
I'm glad you said Star Bar and not something else.
No, it's not that kind of show. We'd have to be on after 9 for that kind of episode. Right, we'll leave that up, and I want people to let us know, what superstitious food you eat, I suppose. Right, mate, first game at the weekend, there was a couple of 12:30s, or might even been 3. Cambridge United 1, MK Dons 1, kicked off the weekend in League 2. Shane Lavery put the home side in front on 75 minutes, and it looked like they had done enough to grind out a really big 1-0 win. But Aaron Collins' spot kick in the 96th minute rescued a point for the visitors in a game that I said had loads of chances, was end-to-end. Penalties really soft for me.
I'm so glad you said that, mate.
It doesn't even go towards the ball or the player, Raggett.
I've got here in my notes, can Cambridge feel hard done by the decision? Looked very soft to me.
To me, it looks like they've either, at worst, they've clashed legs, but there's no motion from Raggett.
No.
Or has Hepburn Murphy simply just tripped over his own feet?
Yeah.
I've watched it back a couple of times. He doesn't swing a leg. He's not pushing him. He's not got his hands on him. For me, it's really, really, really soft.
It is for the 95th minute as well. It doesn't matter what minute, but it's a big call, isn't it? But I think beforehand, I think both teams would have probably been happy with a draw, would you say?
I think so. Keeps Cambridge's good run going, keeps them in the mix. MK Dons have gone away to a rival and not got beat. So, yeah, I think all in all, it's a decent point for both sides and keeps that momentum going at the top end of the table, doesn't it? But, yeah, I'd imagine if you had to pick one side that was hard done by, it was probably Cambridge that felt slightly aggrieved that late.
Was Jonathan there? I think he went, didn't he?
Jonathan, come on. If you're there, let us know. Be honest. Was it a penalty? Was it soft? If there's any Cambridge fans as well, let us know your thoughts. Right, we'll do a couple more comments. We'll see if we get that. William Rhodes, who's hoping to join us on the show more regularly next season as a York City fan. That title race is absolutely ridiculous, by the way. Evening gents excited for this tonight. YCFC. Yeah, huge win in the National League, which we are, of course, keeping an eye on. Rochdale, I think, drew. And York found a 97th minute penalty winner, against 10-man Morecambe after missing a penalty, wasn't it, I think, Lee?
Yeah, so Rochdale drew in the midweek and obviously York won, and then Rochdale won the earlier game 3 o'clock Saturday, so then it put pressure back on York.
Sorry, yeah, York was a half-5 game, wasn't it, because it was the live one, yeah. So absolutely ridiculous, and I do believe they play each other final day of the season.
Yeah, it's
I wonder where Lee will be final day of the season in the National League.
Chip shop.
In the chip shop. Absolutely, as well. I mean, I'm not fussed if either of them comes up. It's going to be a good away day next season. So, yeah, looking forward to just keeping an eye on it as a neutral. But, yeah, I'm sure for William, it's a little bit more nerve-wracking when it's your team that's right in the mix. Simon, the Oldham fan, says, evening, Matt and Lee. Good evening, Simon. Hope you're well. Another good win for your boys. Aaron, Grimsby fan, back in the chat, who did comment kindly on my Matchday Live and said, well played to all the Gills fans that have travelled to Barrow. And he said it again, I'll say it now. Gills fans going to Barrow is a hell of a trek. Big respect. You deserve that win. Just about, yeah. Yeah, we probably did. If one team created the chances to win it, be honest, if it was a film, it would go straight to DVD. It was absolutely turgid for probably 85 minutes. Here we go, proper chat. Simon says he has a Snickers duo at Oldham at half-time. Had won the last 2 home games, won both, not conceded a goal. There we go. So we've got Starbar and Snickers on the list. Do we have anybody who tries anything that doesn't begin with S? And we've got Jess Drury in the chat. Evening, Jess, Bromley fan. Just found your channel. Appreciate you joining. If you can go and subscribe to both, that would be absolutely superb. EFL content. Obviously, covered your club a couple of times this season with the 2 fixtures. We're not going to talk about the home game because you absolutely dismantled us. But yeah, I think me and Lee are both in agreement that you deserve to win the title at the moment. And we've got another comment from Aaron, the Grimsby fan. 13k a week, Aaron Collins is apparently on. That is absolutely mental for League 2 football, if that is true.
Is that what he's on it?
That's nuts. Absolutely nuts.
And no wonder he wasn't there then. I reckon he's on more money than he wore at Bolton, I think.
Oh, absolutely. You'd imagine so, wouldn't you? That's ridiculous. Yeah, no wonder he's so willing to drop a division. That's crazy. Yeah. James Marlin, the Oldham fan, says, yeah. 13k a week. Lovely stuff. Refereeing in this league is appalling. I actually thought, and I don't say this too often, mate, that the referee we had on Saturday was actually fairly decent. Like I always say, if you don't notice the referee, then he's genuinely had a good game. Yeah. A lot of them in this division are like, they want to be centre of attention and make it about themselves. I thought he was really good. Obviously, there's one contentious decision that we'll get to in that game, but I thought all over he was fairly consistent. He got the big calls right, tried to let the game flow, gave free kicks when he had to. We have got an answer from Jonathan. Agree, penalty, but swings and roundabouts. Oldham home, first game of the season. Collins denied. Any Oldham fans want to comment on that one? Should Collins have had a penalty all the way back in August, if you can remember that far?
You're stirring pot here now.
Why not? You wait till we get to the Grimsby game and there's another red card that helps them win a football match. Smithy, the abandoned hunters, back in the chat. Evening, mate. He says, evening, gents. A much needed win for us at the weekend. Need to back it up tomorrow night, else it means nothing. Yeah, there is 3 or 4 games, I think, to have a look at in League 2 this week. Jonathan says, draw was fair result in my honest opinion. Just need to keep the points ticking over. That's it. We've already said it's a decent point for both. It keeps you both moving. Don't lose ground on a team that's directly around you. There we go. Kerry says Kit Kat.
Yeah.
Original or chunky? That's got to be a question. That's a serious question. Is it a
Yeah.
4-finger Kit Kat or is it?
Steady on.
It's not 9 o'clock in your filthy mind, mate. It's starting to cause a problem.
To be fair, a Kit Kat is a very good shout. That'd probably, but
which one? Which one?
No, the 4-finger.
Oh, that's nearly a fist.
I've never. Yeah. To be fair, it's just it just accompanies well with a brew, especially like half time. A little cheeky Kit Kat and
do you ever dip chocolate bars into a cup of tea, like a chocolate biscuit?
I have done, but it won't be my go-to. I'm a chocolate biscuit dipper, but yeah, not chocolate.
It's not like you can really can't whack out a packet of Hobnobs at half time, can you really?
Well, you could, but
all right, Mick McCarthy, it could.
There's that around the grounds there. It's just me just in corner, just having
just walking around with packets of chocolate biscuits. Anyway, back to the football. Second game at lunchtime was Shrewsbury Town against Walsall. Shrewsbury came into this one on a hell of a run. 5 wins on the spin. I think they was the only team at kickoff to have that in the entire of English football. But they went down by 2-1. Priestley Farquharson at the double. Centre half for the Saddlers, 28th and 62nd minute. In between time, Ewan Morgan scored a really good free kick for Salop, but it didn't prove to be enough. And there was a late red for Josh Ruffles in injury time in this one. I've written down, Lee, big win for Saddlers. First setback for Gavin Cowan. Harsh red for Josh Ruffles for me. Looked like he pulled out the challenge. I think he's really unlucky to be given a straight red for that one. I didn't think there was any contact.
Yeah, it does look like he pulled out.
Put it that way, if you're sending him off, you've probably got to send off John Strand-Larsen for his horrific challenge on Harry Maguire in the game at Old Trafford yesterday, which is, on a side note, is absolutely laughable. Harry Maguire, you should be absolutely embarrassed of yourself.
Yeah, to be fair, I haven't seen that one.
You've got to fight. I'll send it to you. It's ridiculous. He goes up to try and head the ball. Strand-Larsen goes with his foot. His foot's about a foot away from Harry Maguire's head, and Harry Maguire squats down holding his face like he's been booted in the chops.
Oh, there's nothing worse than that. It's just...
Yeah, he's gone viral for all the wrong reasons, unfortunately. And it's a big head to hit. I'm not being rude. I mean, he's nicknamed Slavy for a reason. Yeah. So, anyway, back to Shrewsbury. Was it a harsh red card for Josh Ruffles?
Yeah,
is that why you signal struggles?
But yeah, massive win for Walsall. I think that were their first win in 7. So they were bang up against it. And it's a great win to beat Shrewsbury on the road, because obviously Shrewsbury picked up good form. So it's now seeing what Walsall can do in terms of getting back in where they want to be. You've just got to back it up, haven't they, now?
That's it, yeah. Like you say, no win since the 17th of January when they went to Tranmere and won by 3-1. Since then, they've gone draw, loss before Saturday's victory. Yeah, and within 2 points of the playoffs again now. Shrewsbury, we think, no dramas at all now, up to 38 points in 17th. So it'll be just about Cowan probably assessing the squad over the final dozen or so games and having a look what he's got to work with potentially for next season, do we think?
Yeah, I think that's when you get into a safety zone. Obviously, he's still going to want to win games to assure it, because you never know in football. But yeah, I think he's going to assess the squad, and he'll probably already know in terms of what he can play with next season in terms of players that he'll want to be in that squad and what he'll need to bolster the squad. I think first couple of games and training session, I think managers already get a grasp of it, who they can rely on, can't they?
I think so, yeah. And like you say, but it's the only thing you say is be careful. I mean, we've seen Gareth Ainsworth come in for 9 games last season and give everyone a load of contracts because he was unbeaten, and then they've done the same as they've done for the last couple of seasons. So he's got to be careful that he's not just watching players that are solely picking up their performances just to earn a new deal. But yeah, encouraging stuff. I mean, they've had a torrid few years, Shrewsbury, I think it's fair to say, a club that's become used to losing. So fair play to them, winning 5 on the bounce. And yeah, they look to be in the calmer waters now of lower mid-table obscurity, which is probably no bad thing given the couple of years that they've had after coming down from League One. Right, final game at lunchtime on Saturday was somewhat of a local game rivalry between Swindon Town and Bristol Rovers, and this was played out at the county ground and it finished 1-1. Kane Thompson-Sommers put Steve Evans' team in front just before half-time with a really well-taken goal. But Ollie Palmer equalised on 58 minutes, and despite chances for both sides, nobody could find a winner. Did you see Palmer's outrageous attempt to win the game late on? That sort of half-volley lob from about 40 yards that the keeper got back to. Fair play for having a go.
Yeah, he's had a
Town's first draw since November. We kept talking about it. First time they've drawn in about 4 months. Absolutely ridiculous. Is Aaron Drynan's lack of goals becoming a concern for Swindon? They keep sort of doing enough to just be in and around sort of third and fourth. But having got 6 in his previous 5, he's now got no goal contributions at all, not even an assist in his last 5 games.
I think that was always going to be the problem, because he was always going to have that spell. He wasn't going to keep on scoring all season. I think he was always going to have this spell where he's not scoring. So it's then who comes up with the goals.
People like Palmer, to step up and score,
Yeah, because you can't rely on, especially if you're going for promotion, it's good having that player that can score the goals, but I think you need to have players from midfield that contribute as well, to then see not over reliant, because they might get injured and it then scupper your season big time. But yeah, Swindon really stuttering, aren't they?
Yeah, they're still fourth, and the fact that they've had such a good start to the season means that they've still got a massive cushion of 9 points to 8th at the moment. So they're not in any danger of immediately slipping out the playoffs. But when you've been in that top 3 for 2/3 of the campaign, you'd be gutted to slip into the playoffs, wouldn't you? You don't want to go into that playoffs not playing well.
No, you don't, and you just got to ask Walsall fans. Sorry, Walsall fans, don't.
Always the example, unfortunately.
Yeah, there always will be for years to come, to be honest. But yeah, when you're in that position, you don't want to slip. It's different because obviously, if you're in the playoffs and you've been used to it, and then you're striving for top 3, it's something to aim for. But you're always looking over your shoulder, aren't you? A bit like Bromley, they obviously 3 draws in a row. There were probably a little bit of panic setting, maybe, but they've got that Udo off the back now, and they can kick on a little bit. So it's just about getting over the line anyway at this point of the season as well. And any win, don't matter whether you scrape it, and it's just about getting them 3 points to get you in that top 3.
Yeah, because fellow Gills fan Reese, who does German Gills, he put up a poll about our game on Saturday and said, like, is it about performances or is it about just getting 3 points at the moment when you've not won in 3 games, not scored? And I said, Barrow in isolation was all about just getting over the line. So you remember how to win again. Yeah. But if you want to be near the top end of the table, you've got to have performances to go win it, because it's not sustainable to keep grinding out last minute winners. That's just not possible. So yeah, you'd want, as a Swindon fan, to be more consistency, and you go into that playoffs, if that's where you do end up, with a little bit of momentum at least. You don't want to be going in there like falling from sort of 3rd to 6th or 7th in the last month of the season.
No, of course you don't. And if you start losing football games, it then doubt creeps into the squad, it creeps into the fans, and they get nervous. And I think it's just that nervous energy in and around the football club in terms of overall picture. And I think it just, it's tough to get off your back. Don't refer back to Walsall, they'll tell you exactly that feeling. It was just every week you just knew they weren't going to win, and it was just a matter of they're going to drop into the playoffs.
That's it, yeah. Like we said before, I think it's just like watching a car crash in slow motion. You know what's coming. You're just not quite sure when it's going to happen, unfortunately. But in terms of the gas, back to that game, back-to-back positive results for Steve Evans. I mean, a win against Grimsby and a point against Swindon. I think they'd have taken that if they'd been offered that 2 weeks ago. And they've taken 10 points in their last 7 now, which is it's not a great return, but it's enough to keep your head above water at the moment, is it? And that's the sole aim for Steve Evans and Paul Rayner, is to keep Bristol Rovers up and then go again next season, I'd imagine. Yeah,
of course it is. And we've just touched on Shrewsbury. Steve Evans will be assessing what he can work with. And it'll be a case, I think, with Bristol Rovers, a big clear out, and he'll probably get players in that he can trust and rely on. That's probably worked with before, because he seems to do that. It's just about assessing. Like, I don't think Bristol Rovers, I think they'll be okay. A lot like Shrewsbury as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think, like you say, if you can go along at just over a point a game at this stage of the season, you've probably got enough to stay above the line. Right, we'll do a few more comments and then we'll have a look at the 3 o'clocks. Liam Welby is in the chat. He says, hello, Matt and Lee. Sorry for your loss, Matt. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yes. I'm not going to talk about it on the live show because I don't want to break down in front of an audience. But yeah, appreciate your sentiments, mate. That is much appreciated. Simon Bradshaw says Donovan Daniels is top. Start that again. Donovan Daniels is biggest earner at Oldham, 3.4k a week, which is a third or nearly a quarter, essentially, of what Aaron Collins is rumoured to be on at MK Dons, which is frankly ridiculous. Darren Leverett, another Gills fan, says Robbie Mack, player of the year. Not for me, Darren. No. Bradley Dack, comfortably our player of the year, in my opinion. Best footballer at the club by fair bit at the moment. Greg the Fish, Lee's favourite username, is in. Evening, Greg. Evening, lads. Great to be watching live again. Appreciate your support. James says that Jonathan's talk about the penalty at the first game of the season was never a pen, but the laughing emojis may indicate that he actually thinks different. Kerry says it's got to be the original Kit Kat. I won't say what she's put down because Lee will start getting the wrong idea again. Aaron says red card again. Olay, olay. We'll get to that. Smithy says Devon Daniels. You sure you're an Oldham? Oh, Simon made a mistake there. Should that say Donovan? Yeah, I think that's a typo there. Should be Donovan Daniels. Troy says Snickers, or for those of a certain vintage, he does mention Marathon. Yeah, you can't.
Marathon.
I don't think you can go wrong with chocolate, caramel, and peanuts. I just think that's a proper front three, that, isn't it? I mean, that's like Suarez, Neymar, and Messi for me. That's elite.
Yeah, Snickers is a good go-to chocolate
You've
bar.
Got a sweet tooth. So what's your favourite chocolate bar? Come on, have a think. We ask all the important questions on this show. Simon says Oldham still have to play Bromley, Grimsby, Chesterfield, Crewe, MK Dons, Notts County and Salford. I think they may still have a say in the league. Yeah. And look, if you could beat a few of them, who knows? Probably a bit to do. But yeah, even if you don't get into the playoffs or up the top, you're certainly going to have a say in what happens at the business end of the season. David Hutchinson is in. Evening, David, all the way from Canada. Cannot stay and enjoy your chat due to other commitments. However, post-Barrow comment. After 60 years as a Gills fan, the result generated a new and unique experience. Yes, a couple of rumours going around. I saw one post that said it was since 1959. Another one said 1967. But either way, it has basically been a generation or a lifetime since the Gills last won at Holker Street. So, and I was there moment for the 237 fans. Right. Shall we have a look at the 3 o'clocks, mate? We had Barnet against Chesterfield, two teams with aspirations to get back into the top 7 or into the top 7 for the first time, I think, Barnet. And it was the Bees who came out on top in this one. Namadi off a ball with a really good strike on 65 minutes to win the game by 1-0 for the Dean Brennan lists Barnet. And we said it was going to have an effect, but no signs of it in this one, mate. Really good performance. Clean sheet against Chesterfield and a big win. And the top 7 are coming into range.
Yeah, and especially beat with Chesterfield because they're in and around it. It's not having an effect, is it? We said that it might. We said it might, and it's not. But everything we say, complete opposite always happens.
Yeah. We've got to talk about Accrington in a minute. Sorry, Stanley fans.
I forgot about that. Oh my God. Oh, brilliant.
We are absolutely shocking. No wonder we talk about food and have a laugh because you can't take us seriously at the moment.
No. But yeah, no, big win that, especially against a team that you're striving for to replace in them playoff positions.
Absolutely, and suddenly it's just 2 points for Barnet and the Winboltham level on points with the Spy, right? So I've written down, still consistently inconsistent, Chesterfield. How many times have we said this season they take 2 steps forward and 1 back, or 1 step forward and 2 back? And they beat us a couple of weeks ago on a Tuesday night, and they got back into the top 7. And then they've drawn with Crawley and lost to Barnet, and suddenly they drop out again. And you're thinking they've got hard work to do again. They've got to pick themselves up again. Whereas Barnet, on the other side of the coin, back-to-back wins now after 2 defeats. So yeah, they've only lost 2 of their last 10. Dean Brennan's men. It's been 3 draws in there, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins. Playoff form.
It is definitely playoff form. And I think, I won't say it's easier, but it's always good to have something to aim for, especially in this period of the season, like you're striving for them playoff positions, whereas teams in the playoff, they're always looking over the shoulder in a weird way.
I think I'd rather be the hunter than the hunted at the moment.
Yeah, I know everyone wants to be in that playoff positions, but it's all about who's in them on that final day. That's all that matters. You can be in it all season and then absolutely capitulate last few games. And teams coming into it with momentum always seem to do well in the playoff as well. So it's always helpful. And yeah, great run. Like I said, to be on the run they're in, it's definitely playoff form.
Yeah, it's 18 points in the last 10 games, so 1.8 from here to the end of the season. They're going to be bang in the middle of it, I think. So a bit of contract news, which I've just see, which Jonathan brought to myself and yours attention, mate, on X. But Aaron has mentioned it as well. Charles Vernham signed a new contract today for Grimsby Town, which is a great bit of business for them. He's having a phenomenal season. I think we said previously, always been a good player, but never always fit. But he's had a great campaign, hasn't he, Charles Vernham? Quickly.
Yeah, he has. He's a really good player. I've seen him a few times live. I like him. Very attack-minded player, which I absolutely love in a footballer. Someone that wants to take players on, and he chips in with his fair share of goals as well.
And I'm sure we will talk about him in a couple of minutes when we get to their game at Notts County. Where have we got to? Right, we've got some more comments. Jess Drury says the managers not knowing which ones were sent off in the Swindon v Bristol Rovers game was madness. No Pattaya for Shannon. Do you want an explanation on that username, mate?
Yeah, go on.
Right. We need context to these usernames. We like an abstract one, but we need to know what it means. Swindon can't keep a clean sheet is the main problem. Yet, if you keep clean sheets, it gives you half a chance, doesn't it, at the moment? Hutch, just quickly before he goes again, says, I was so uninspired during the match against the relegation favourite. I spent the game identifying who is on my release list for the summer. 3 points was good, but some individuals are dire. But he does finish with up the Gills. Enjoy your other commitments, David, but appreciate you jumping on and having a quick chat with us before you go. Jamie Anderson is in the chat. He says, what a guy. Around the grounds is the main man.
Hey, Jamie, yes, what a legend. Cardiff.
Evening, Jamie. Hope you're well. Yeah, I'm assuming you had a good afternoon on Saturday and Lee covered your game really well. Quick one. Your game. Someone messaged me and said goal of the day or goal of the season from the Cardiff lad. I said no. It bugs me because this is like the Ryan Giggs one years ago where he scored against Man United and he gets talked about as the greatest solo goal ever. Again, the fella beats 2 players and then just runs in a straight line for 40 yards and no one bothers to tackle him.
Yeah, well, one of them where I had a feel as soon as he picked it up, and I think he went past.
I think he beat Hanlon, ex-Gills on the
edge
of the D, and one other. He sort of went in between them, and then everyone else just sort of went.
Yeah, and as soon as he went past them, I knew he was going to score because he just wasn't engaged at all. A great goal, like, but yeah, I want.
Oh yeah, to run that far, I get it, but I just again same as the Ryan Giggs one. I think once he beats the 2 on the halfway line, it's Dixon and Adams just back off and back off and back off.
Yeah, I think it's Sunday League defending that. If I'm honest, like Grant McCann must have been tearing his hair out, but he finished it really well. To be fair to the lad, most people sometimes you have that little run and you get your giddy head on and you end up just absolutely levering it and it goes into Rowe's head, but he finished it really calmly, slotted it past the keeper. And
that's probably the biggest thing there, like you say, because your eyes light up after running that far and you're probably knackered as well. Yeah. I mean, I'd be knackered running that far. I'd have been knackered doing the first bit, but yeah, it's a good goal. I just wanted your view on it because I just thought that Doncaster were lazy defensively and just backed off, which made it a lot easier. Anyway, Gills played a football match at Barrow. The highlight of the day was the last-minute winner and the free fish and chips on the way home. It was absolutely turgid for the majority of this one. I think Barrow hit the bar direct from a corner, which I think Jake Turner would have saved if it was going under. Ronan Howe hit the post just after half-time, made his own chance, beat Stanway, it thudded against the base of the near post. Aside from that, the only talking point was what looked like a fairly bad injury to Jovan Malcolm. And I've said on the channel on my matchday review and matchday live, swift recovery to him. He's going to end up with a horrible gash. I don't know if you've seen the challenge. A lot of Barrow fans saying it's out of control and it's two-footed. Not a bit of it for me. Ethan Coleman wins the ball. And unfortunately, momentum means that he can't stop afterwards and he catches the bloke. For me, it's just hazard of the job. And it's one of them that's unfortunate. But for me, not a red card. And then Gills won it with a toe punt in the 103rd minute, the end.
Was that bad?
It weren't great, mate. Honestly, that put it this way, I called it a losing 0-0. If we'd not scored the goal, it's mental, and like just we know why we watch football for moments like that. And if you break it down to its simplest form, I sat on a coach for probably 17 hours nearly on Saturday to watch 22 men badly kick a bag of air around a bit of grass.
Yeah.
So, but it's them moments that you live for, and that's why you do it, to follow your club up and down the country to the arse end of absolutely everywhere. But it wasn't a good game. We were just slightly less crap than them.
I think
your thoughts on the red card if you saw it?
Yeah, I think with your video, I think it summed up the away day as you were coming out of the ground. Ava like looked behind and just gave a little cheeky smile as if, "Come on, let's get on, boss. 3 points." I thought it was good though.
That was. Come on, Dad, let's get on the bus. I know there's fish and chips waiting.
Love it. But no,
it makes the journey home a lot easier, doesn't it? That would have probably felt like about 8 days to get home rather than 8 hours if we'd drawn 0-0 or lost the football match. But we need to be better. Big positive for me was we were better defensively, because against Oldham last weekend we were absolutely atrocious. Question for Dino Mamriano. They've lost 3 on the bounce now, mate. Paul Gallagher got sacked for 5 on the bounce a couple of weeks ago. So what do Barrow do now? Because they're making a rod for their own back if they keep sacking managers after quick periods of defeats. And they're a very poor football team from what I saw.
Would you say they're banging it?
I think they're banging trouble. They weren't quite Harrogate levels of bad. And having someone like Danny Rose, I think, helps, who is a goal scorer. But I genuinely forgot he was playing until he came off on about 70 minutes. They were awful, considering they're in a relegation battle. And I understand they don't get big crowds. There was only 2,500 there.
Yeah.
But it just felt like a pre-season friendly. Like it was dead. I said that. And the Gills fans then struggled because there was nothing to bounce off of. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
You go and watch games. The home fans go, away fans retaliate or sing back. Like, we forgot that you were here. And then it goes. It was just none of that. And it was so dead inside the ground, aside from odd moments. Maybe having a small fan base doesn't help Barrow in a situation like that, because you want your crowd to get behind your team and put the away side under pressure when you need points. But it never really happened.
Maybe the Barrow fans have come to conclusion that it might be the fact that they will be going down, and they've got their heads around it. I don't know. I think you said the same about Harrogate, didn't you? Obviously, they've turned the corner.
So congratulate me soon, Barrow, when you win 4 on the bounce. Now that we've said they're rubbish as well, because that's how it goes on the show.
But no, Barrow losing, like I said, banging trouble. Harrogate getting a point Friday night, and then Newport getting a point. It just, it's not looking amazing, is it?
No, it's not. And they are now just...
I think it's only a point.
It's goal difference. It's goal difference keeping them outside.
Goal difference?
Albeit the only positive for Barrow at the moment is they've got 2 games in hand on Harrogate, a game in hand on Newport, 2 on Crawley, and 1 on Bristol Rovers and Tranmere. But it comes back to what we said last week. You need to have points on the board. And when you're as bad as that, I'm not sure games in hand are a help.
No, they're definitely not. And I don't think at this period of the season a lot of games help either. That game against you were the interesting one. I felt we're obviously playing yous. No disrespect to yous, but I thought you were probably there maybe for the taking because of how bad you have been.
Yeah.
And they've not capitalised it, and that would worry me as a Barrow fan.
I think both. We said at half time, we were sat there, and you got Gills fans going, "This game's here for the taking. Barrow are nothing special." And I said, "Barrow are probably saying exactly the same."
Yeah, I remember. I heard you say that to someone.
Yeah. It was a game between two sides that are bang out of confidence, bang out of form. So it goes back to what I said earlier. As an isolated game, it was just about finding a way, which we did, which is great. But we've got to be so much better because we've got some big games coming up in March. We play Fleetwood at home, MK Dons at home next Tuesday. We then go Cambridge. We then host Swindon. And I think we've got Bristol Rovers and Crawley to end the month as well. So in terms of home games, we've got 4. Travelling's not too bad. Cambridge and Crawley are basically next door compared to everywhere else that we have to travel. So we could have a decent month, and then suddenly the season looks a lot better again. But we've got to use the ball a lot better than we have been recently. Anyway,
you could have a big say.
We could have a say on it again. Yeah, definitely. I know a lot of people are saying. Jonathan messaged me the other day and said that a well-renowned EFL pundit said that MK Dons coming to Gills will be the easiest away game of the season. So we'll see how that goes. William said, I don't like to name names. It's, people have their own opinions. William Rhodes says, have I missed anything? Was just making a cuppa. Yeah, you did, William. Lee said he fancies Rochdale to win the National League while you weren't in the chat. So I'll let him explain that. No, he didn't really. He didn't. He said Forest Green are going to run at the end of the season. Matt the Gills fan says a win is a win. Absolutely. No, totally agree. We just needed to find a way. James, the Oldham fan, says Money Mont out of contract end of the season. Heard rumours he's not going to sign a new deal as he wants to move back down south. Could be one to keep an eye on for any team that needs an experienced centre half. Jess Jury's gone left field with a choice of chocolate bar. Bourneville. That is a rogue one. Dark chocolate. Bit niche, but I like it. I don't mind a bit of dark chocolate. Not sure I'll be walking around a football stadium with it, mind.
No,
they do bars of Bourneville, or do you have to buy like a slab?
Yeah, they do the little.
They do like a single bar.
Yeah.
It's quite a middle class choice. That I like it.
It is, yeah, very
different.
I do like a bit of dark chocolate with the teeth, and do like a little bit of dark chocolate every now and then.
Yeah, it's healthier as well, isn't it? You always feel better if you've had a Bourneville. It's got more cocoa, which is basically it's essentially salad. Health advice we're doing now. Unbelievable. Pinch of salt. Eileen Black, the baker, says, do you think there is more behind Dak's omission on Saturday, especially did not come on as a sub even? No, I don't think there was. I think my own opinion, Eileen, is...
Have we done that username?
This one's the baker, isn't it? I think we've asked a few weeks ago, Eileen, if you can just remember us, because, yeah, we remember we're rubbish at football chat and we've got crap memories as well. I don't know why anyone watches at this point, to be fair. Just because we talk about pie. That's all that's saving us at the moment, mate. Pastry talk. Sorry, Eileen, back to your question. How many earpieces? We're having a shocker here, aren't we? I don't think there was anything more to it than I think he picked up a knock and we didn't have a spare. So you can understand him being on the bench just for experience. And there was a rumour that apparently he was involved in the team talk. So we'll find out more Saturday, I guess, won't we? But I don't think there was anything in it at all. I think he just picked up a knock, couldn't play. We got through it, and fingers crossed he's available for next weekend. Simon continues the Bourneville theme. If I used to like Bourneville with Old Jamaica, which was out the other year, dark chocolate with rum and right. Yeah, that sounds naughty, that, to be fair. Mind you, the amount I drink these days, I'll probably be drunk if I had a bar at. Oh, we've got a crisp option now.
Oh,
Matt GFC, Mars and Bounty. Don't mind a Mars. Bounty is, it's like, nah, that's like where Newport are at the moment. Sorry to Newport fans for using you as an analogy. Bounty, no, absolutely can get in. Where'd you stand on Bounty, Lee? Can't stand it. Horrible.
I'm not too bad with Bounty. I don't mind. It won't be my go-to. To be fair, like, I'm hard pushed to find a chocolate bar that I won't eat and enjoy. I really will.
I'm not a big fan of desiccated coconut. No, it's like little bits of wood wrapped in chocolate for me. I'm not a fan. Anyway, also new Walker's flavours: sticky teriyaki and masala chicken, 10 out of 10. But don't go near the hot honey. Nothing very tasteless. There you go. We have some potato-based snacks that people can try. William wants to know if. Go on. Oh, here we go. Ooh.
Crunchy.
I do like a crunchy. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's a good choice. To be fair, I know this is going to sound. And this might sound boring, but sometimes just like a good old-fashioned whisper, just chocolate, just proper chocolate.
Yeah. Ripple,
decent. Picnic bar.
Oh mate, I'm absolutely
during the summer. I think we're going to have to do a league table of our favourite 24 chocolate bars.
Yes, we're doing
there we go. We'll do it.
Yes.
We will do it. I promise. That will be something in the summer. Remind us when the season ends and we finish.
Episode 1, footy scran. Episode 2, chocolate bars. Episode 3, I don't know, beers at football, maybe. 5-parter.
Absolute waste of time for me. That's just for you talking for an hour. Because no one's going to listen to me talk about Guinness Zero for 60 minutes, are they? But definitely, we will do a league table of chocolate bars. We need to carry on talking about football, mate. Bromley against Accrington Stanley was played out at Hayes Lane. There were 2 penalties for Michael Cheek. And of course, he converted them both on 45 and 52 minutes. In between, Dave Abimbola had equalised in the 3rd minute of injury time for Stanley, who had to play 76 minutes with 10 men after Donald Love's very deserved red card in this one for stamping on Michael Cheek. Absolutely brainless. I've put deserved win for the Ravens, who hit the bar twice and forced multiple saves from the Stanley keeper. 3 defeats on the spin for Stanley after only 2 in their previous 10, and a certain League 2 hour backing them as the dark horses to run towards the playoffs.
Sorry, Stanley. Sorry.
Just talk about chocolate again.
To be fair to Accrington, though, going down to 10, they got level. But I always felt that Bromley were a matter of time that they got back to winning ways, especially at home. Very, very strong.
Still unbeaten at home this season, which is absolutely ridiculous considering they've now played 17 games.
Yeah, and it helps the position that they're in. That home form has been absolutely massive and key to why they are where they are. And that man, Cheek, obviously double from a spot. 16 now for the season. Another good season for him. And he's took league football like a duck to water, hasn't he?
He really has. Yeah, there was talk about whether he could do it in his 2nd season. Well, he's absolutely done that. Accrington, on the other hand, still absolutely fine. 46 points in 13th, in no drama now. But we probably did jinx them, and they'll be mid-table come the end of the season. William wants to know whether you're going to Rochdale last game of the season, and if so, what end you will be in. I think I know what end Lee will be in, but I'll let him confirm.
It'll be hard push to get a York ticket, I think. I'd love to be in with the York fans, but would I want to take a York ticket away from a fan?
He's a good lad, isn't he? Isn't he a good lad?
Because I think they only give them 1,600 now in that Rochdale end, which is a shame because they could fill it. But I think it'll be done.
Because if there's something on it, you're going to struggle to get a ticket because they want to go and win the league there. And if it's already done, everyone's going to have a ticket because they'll basically be on the booze, getting into the party mood, wouldn't they, I suppose? Yeah,
and I think I said a couple of weeks, but I think it'll be done by then, I think.
Yeah, one to keep an eye on, certainly. Aaron, the Grimsby fan, has noted the name Hessenthaler behind me. Yep. Mentioned that Jake was a good player for Grimsby. Jake was a decent player for Gills as well, mate. But that's his old man, that shirt up there. That is Andy Hessenthaler, Gillingham legend and current director of football or head of recruitment, whatever his title is. Jamie says, you are good as well, mate. Thank you, mate. Love you. And he says, terrible defending from Doncaster. I agree. But yeah, massive win for Cardiff as they look to bounce back to the Championship. Right, we better carry on with these games, mate, because we are a little bit behind schedule, which is fine. Never have any problem with that. We've always said it's very informal here. Colchester against Salford City, mate, was a game between 2 sides trying to get back into the playoff picture. and it was Cole Stockton who won it for Carl Robinson's men on 78 minutes. I've written about this one, both sides struggling for consistency. From their last 8 games, Cole U have won 3 but lost 4, and the Ammies have won 4, lost 4. So it doesn't seem to be any in between at the moment. Feast or famine for both sides, and that's why Salford have just gone back in with that win, but keep dropping in and out at the moment. And Colchester 12th with 6 points to make up on the top 7 at the moment.
Yeah, we spoke a bit on Salford last week and Colchester, to be fair. Obviously, Salford.
Colchester had a really good win last week, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, yeah.
They Barnet 4-1.
Yeah, and Salford, obviously, I think they'd lost 4. Four league defeats.
Shrewsbury, Cheltenham, Newport, and Accrington. So not even sides, with the utmost respect, that were up in the table as well.
Yeah, and we all speak of obviously Salford going well and then tailing off.
Have we called them streaky before? I think we have.
Yeah.
It's just whether they can time the positive streak at the right time that sees them go into the playoffs right on the last day of the season, I'd imagine.
Yeah, we've said this all. I think it will be a case of like a few teams can still get into them last playoff positions, which will make for exciting viewing. But yeah, Colchester will be disappointed after a good win last time out. We keep speaking of a club and then the polar opposite happens. It's just mental. It's like...
It can't always be our fault.
No. But I think it's the inconsistency of the division because it's competitive in terms of teams are beating each other and even top and bottom. You can't call a fixture. I mean, looking into this one, I'd have probably said that Colchester had won, but because of Salford's form with losing 4 on the bounce. But there you go. How wrong am I?
Exactly, like we've said plenty of times, form goes out the window in this division. It's impossible to pick sometimes, and that's why we love talking about it on a weekly basis. Crewe Alexandra against Tranmere Rovers was played out at Gresty Road, or the Mornflake Stadium as it's now called. Absolutely despise these sponsored names. And it was James Plant who put Andy Crosby's men in front just before half time. It looked like Crewe Alexandra's playoff push was going to take something of a hit, but Connor Thomas equalised on 77 minutes before Josh March popped up with an injury time winner to win it for Lee Bell's men. Back-to-back goals for March now after 7 without one. And dare I say it, the type of win that you get when you're trying to get in the playoffs or get in the playoffs. When you're struggling, come from behind late.
And one stat that made my ears prick up because I was quite shocked because not like Crewe felt inconsistent without being. I mean, this stat's 1 defeat in 12 at home, which is brilliant. It's good to have, obviously, to be in and around them playoffs.
Yeah, 5th in the home table overall this season with 10 wins from 18 on their own patch, which is really good.
Yeah, it's just been their away form. I think that's let them down a little bit. But yeah, massive win, stoppage time, especially after going 1 down. Tranmere's rut just continues. Just strange old club.
We had this chat about Simon Weaver a few weeks ago, and I know it's a slightly different chat because Simon Weaver's old man's the chairman there. But are we past the point where Andy Crosby could be sacked because the owner's trying to sell the football club, Mark Palios? Because they've lost 9 in their last 10. I mean, that's sackable form at any level.
Yeah, it's massively, yeah. Especially you look at managers that has been sacked for less. Strange. You just don't know. I think as a Tranmere fan, you just don't know what direction the club. I know he's trying to sell it, but he's got to think about now. He still owns the club.
And we said last week they're not in any danger. But a couple more defeats, and you only need 2 or 3 of them teams below to pick up, and suddenly that gap becomes like 4 points, and then they're looking over their shoulder. Like we've said, they've lost 9 of their last 10. Let's have a look at they're away to Newport tomorrow night, which is absolutely massive. They're then at home to Oldham, then go to Fleetwood. They've then got Harrogate at home, and then they play Swindon and Cheltenham to finish March. Such is the form, they could get sucked in, couldn't they? I mean, it's still a long shot to go down because you're expecting teams below them to be a lot better than they've been over 33 games. But it's not impossible or lunacy to be talking about Tranmere Rovers as a potential relegation candidate at the moment on their form, is it?
No, and I think if you lined 10 Tranmere fans up, I think if you asked them, where do you think your next win's coming from? I don't think they'd be able to tell you.
So say Newport beat them tomorrow, Newport will get to 28 points. Yes, it's still a gap there. But yeah, they've still. I don't know. It's like you say. It's a weird situation. It's hard to work out because any other club would surely have rolled the dice. We've said this before. How many of them down there have rolled the dice? Newport have, Barrow have twice, Bristol Rovers have, Cheltenham did, Shrewsbury did. So it's only Tranmere, Crawley, and Harrogate down there that have not rolled the dice. And we understand the Harrogate is a weird situation with the father-son chairman manager setup that they have. But yeah, one to certainly keep an eye on. In other news, nearly 40 of you watching now, which is absolutely brilliant. If you can keep pressing like, keep pressing hype, subscribe to both channels, all that stuff. Thanks. Notts County Lee hosted Grimsby at 3 o'clock at Meadow Lane as well. And this was a battle of the teams, one in the playoffs and one trying to get back in the playoffs. And it was the one trying to get back in the playoffs that came out on top. The man who just signed a new contract, Charles Vernon, won this for Dave Artell's men in the 85th minute after a red card for Lee Unlove on 76. Plenty of chances missed. What did you make of the red card in this one? I've seen a comment from a Grimsby fan, and I'm going to put it up. But again, I thought it was harsh.
Yeah, it is hard to tell from the highlights because it pans on it quick and then pans on it away, so you don't really. I personally, without seeing it proper, I thought it looked harsh. But and my worry was, I think the ref was very, very quick to get his red card out without thinking about it. He'd already got his. If you look at the tackle, he's already got his back pocket ready to go.
He's got his hands in that pocket before he's even
already in. Yeah,
it was almost like he was waiting to give a red card to me. Which, and I'm not being a conspiracy theorist, but there's been a lot of dodgy red cards against Grimsby this year that have helped them win football matches. It could be coincidence. I entirely get that. But as Aaron, the Grimsby fan, says, that's the 9th red card against them this season. That seems high for me, and I'd say half to maybe 66% of them have been soft, at very best.
Yeah. Without going back, and I can't remember decisions. I know they have had some that.
The one against there was a game where there was a coming together on the halfway line and he got a straight red. That was never a red card. The first Gills red card was never a red card. I think one of the Cheltenham ones was harsh when they went down to 9 men start of the season. Again, it's not me saying that Grimsby are getting help, but it just seems to be happening far too regularly to be a coincidence. But yeah, Aaron says this was the most deserved studs up above the knee. And the irony was that last season they had an offside goal and a handball at Meadow. I do remember that actually as well, to be fair. Grimsby had a couple of decisions go their way last season. But I get Aaron's put karma, and we all say that as football fans, but that then doesn't automatically mean that decision's right on Saturday. And for me, granted, we've only got 1 or 2 looks at it. It looked a soft red card in my opinion.
Yeah, I thought from thinking, but like I say, I wasn't there, so you always get to see what you see on telly, and it shows you it quick and then pans off. But like I say, that ref were already in that back pocket, very, very, very quick for my liking. But football, we're not referees; we're just football fans, and everyone's opinion's different.
Of course, and I get it that we've all got rose-tinted glasses to a degree when it's our own team, and we do try to be as down the middle as possible. Apart from when I talk about Gills, just rubbish all the time. So, Aaron asked, "Did Danny Rose have?" Oh, go on, carry on.
But having said that, Grimsby were a massive win. Vernon dribble and strike, fantastic goal.
It is, but I've written down, don't let Vernon cut inside defensive suicide, because you know what he's going to do. I know stopping him's different, but don't let him in on his right foot. He's done it all season.
Yeah, you just knew what was coming when he dipped in. Great hit, and buried it. And great way to win a football game, to be honest. And against the Notts County side, that was absolutely flying. I mean, they put 5 past Tranmere last time out. Massive shout for them.
Surprised me, though. That's their only win in their last 4. Notts County, that win against Tranmere. I didn't realise. Yeah, they'd won 6 on the bounce, and then it's only 1 win in 4. Whereas the Mariners, 1 win outside the top 7. Now it's down to 3 points. Have lost only once since Boxing Day. And obviously the bonus is Charles Vernon's new contract today. And I have to mention it, that Grimsby away kit is absolutely sensational. Yeah,
Grimsby's produced some great kits, I think last season.
Umbro as well, which is, I love Umbro, like proper old school. Obviously, history of England and that type of thing. And
they've proper gone back to 90s with that one, haven't they?
Absolutely love it. Aaron asked, did Danny Rose have a good game for Barrow? I've already mentioned it, mate. No, he didn't. He was anonymous, unfortunately. I said I didn't even notice he was on the pitch until he got substituted with about 20 minutes to play. Kerry clearly was a fan of my analysis of the Gills game. Toe punt the end. Aaron says at least 2 Tin Pot clubs are going down, Harrogate and Newport. I'll be disappointed. I think they're 2 good away days, I must admit. It'd be nice to do some new grounds, because I've basically, once I tick off Barnet, last away day, I've done all the grounds in this division, and it'd be nice for some change. But you know, me and Lee, we love pastry with a meat filling, and Harrogate comfortably have the best pie in the EFL, so that'd be disappointing to lose that. Aaron says Northwest swap, Barrow down, Carlisle up. Well, funny story. We was at Norton Kane Services on the way back, and Carlisle were coming back from Eastleigh. And it's fair to say that they had their own equivalent of the Oldham Athletic booze bus. One Oldham fan had lost his trousers, was stood outside the services in a pair of Sambas, white socks, his pants, and what I can only describe as a hoodie, being used as what can only be described as a makeshift apron to protect his lower region. And they were singing the Carlisle are going up and the Barra are going down. So they'd have a great day. Obviously, local rivals, and it was coincidence that they bumped into us because we'd seen off their rivals by a 1-0. Jamie is in the chat. Evening, Jamie. Good evening, guys. Great. So Gills lucky by all accounts. No, not lucky. 2 poor teams. Never looked like we were going to lose. Looking forward to Saturday at home. My favourite Sereno plays. Really enjoy it when he plays as he drives forward with pace. Yeah, good to see him get on the pitch. One side note I didn't agree with was if Max Clark had put a cross out of play with a miss hit like Lenny Sereno did. He got dogs abuse from our fans, but Lenny Sereno does it and he gets his song sang, which is a little bit contradictory. But in terms of your comment about the game, Jamie, no, we weren't lucky to. Okay, maybe we were lucky to win. I don't think we've done enough to maybe say that we deserved all 3 points. We had the better of what you can call good chances, but we were never in danger of losing the football match. But yeah, like we've already said, myself and Lee earlier in the show, when you're not playing well, you get over the line any which way you can.
Especially with the rut you've been on.
Exactly, that's it. Got more chocolate choices here. Greg the Fish says it's got to be a bounty. Oof.
Greg the Fish, bounty.
Lee likes you. I've gone off you. Reese is in the chat. He says, hi, evening, Reese. Is that a Doncaster badge?
It is.
It's a Doncaster badge. Hope that's not you preempting next season, mate, because you're still in a battle down there, aren't you? But I think you'll have enough to stay up. Boost bar? Yeah, I don't mind a boost from time to time. Boost biscuit, can't go wrong. Only thing I find with a boost bar, I've put it in the fridge and then you cut it in half. It looks like a dog bone.
Yeah, it's rock hard to eat and all.
Solid, isn't it? Yeah, that's like, if you've got a loose tooth, you're in trouble if you try and eat one of them.
Usually at the football, they have boosts and you can tell they've been cold and you're like biting into it.
Simon's upped the ante with the Whisper chat and gone for the Whisper Gold. Yeah, I don't mind a Whisper Gold, but sometimes I think you just got to get just good old chocolate. We still haven't finished this game. Blimey, O'Reilly. There's going to be... Oh, we're into injury time already. I hadn't even noticed. There was a couple more games played out in League Two. Oldham Athletic 2, for the Latics fans that have been waiting patiently. Crawley Town 0. Town keeper Jacob Chapman was overworked in this one. I think it's fair to say, mate. Probably made 3 or 4 good saves first half to keep it at 0-0 until Jack Stevens put the Latics in front, who then ran out very deserving winners. He added a second just after half time to give the score a more realistic feel based on the play. Mickey Mellon's men now taken 10 points from the last 12 available, with 3 clean sheets from 4, while Crawley have taken just 2 points from the last 18 available, 2 draws and 4 defeats. And another little anecdote, as well as the Carlisle fans at the services on Saturday, was the Crawley Town team bus. We had a lovely chat with Neil Smith and Scott Lindsay, who of course both have a Gills connection. Scott's dad played for us back in the 70s, I think, and Scott was on our books as a youngster. Neil Smith, obviously a bit of a Gills legend for his goal at Highfield Road in 1997 when we knocked Coventry City out of the League Cup. What would it have been called then, mate? Coca-Cola Cup 97?
Yeah, it would have been, yeah. Coca-Cola Cup.
I'll have to Google that to confirm. But yeah, both really honest about their plight, both really, really generous with their time. Considering they'd lost the football match, sometimes you don't want to have a chat. Obviously, they were getting bantered by the Carlisle fans who were singing "You're Going Down with the Barrow" as all their players were trying to get back on the bus. But yeah, Scott admitted that it's his toughest period as a football manager, and I think football fans want to hear that, people that are honest. And he also mentioned that he watches Gills in the Blood regularly, which was fairly surreal.
That's class.
That's mental, isn't it? Like, really mad. Like, he come up to me, like, I recognised him, and he went, "Hello, mate, how are you?" And I'm thinking, like, is there someone behind me that he knows? Nope, he was talking to me, the little YouTube man. Yeah, Crawley are up against it at the moment, aren't they? I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, massively, mate. I mean, I personally think out of Barrow and Crawley, I'd probably tip. Oh, I'm gonna jinx it, and Crawley's just gonna go through a trapdoor and go out at Football League. But
you just backed Crawley to stay up, haven't you, and killed them?
Pretty much, mate. Yeah. Sorry, Crawley.
If I say Barrow are going to stay up, it might even it out. And then they can just have a good old-fashioned Barrow. I can have a good old battle, and then it actually might come down to a footballing ability rather than us spouting nonsense on the weekly.
And then Gills will go down.
No, that'd be the only one you get right, you sod. Unbelievable. Now his Wi-Fi works. Now his Wi-Fi works.
Yeah. You jinxed that.
But yeah, Oldham looking decent again, aren't they? Probably, playoffs is well out of reach now, 45 points. They've only played 32. Win that, yeah, still a long shot. But we keep saying it, they've had a thoroughly decent season back in the EFL for the first time in a few years.
Yeah, although it must be frustrating because they've not had that period where they went on a couple of runs where they lost games. Who knows where they would have been. But like I said, regardless of that, first season back in League Two, stabilised. It's all about that is all it is about for Oldham. I think with the wages that they've got, it's probably not as big as what some clubs have had coming into the Football League in past seasons. So yeah, it's all about getting that stability. And I've said quite a few times, you then go next season, don't you, and build on it.
That's it, because similar to Gills, they've not lost loads, relatively speaking. I mean, they've lost 9. Crew have lost 11 and Salford have lost 12, and they're both in the playoffs. Swindon have lost 11 and they're 4th. It's just next season, and it's the same problem that we mentioned at the start of the season. They needed a goal scorer. They needed a bit of magic in the final third. If they can keep that defensive solidity and add a few in that top end of the pitch, then next season they'll have an opportunity to kick on and maybe challenge the top 10, the top 7.
Yeah, you always felt that goals were the issue for Oldham because they were keeping clean sheets. And
only scored 36, but only conceded 30.
Yeah, so defensively really sound. It's just about scoring goals, which is probably why they haven't won as many football matches. But like I say, it's something to build on from them, and I think if they just keep trying to win football matches and see how far they get up, I think playoffs is well out. Because I think they have got some tough games coming. In terms of, I think you put a list up recently, so it's some tough fixtures to come, but some fixtures that they could have a real say in
None
the
tougher than
playoffs.
tomorrow. They go to Bromley tomorrow night. That's their game in hand.
Yeah,
So, yeah, that's brutal. But then they go to Tranmere, then host Grimsby, then go to Chesterfield, home to Harrogate, which is very winnable. And then their last two in March are Notts County and Crewe. So, yeah, you'd say that's a... But again, if they could pick up, you never know. But still very much in the improbable, if not impossible.
yeah. I mean, some fans will probably say that they still fancy playoffs, but I think realistically, they've got a lot of traffic in front of them and a lot of good teams as well.
And you're relying on lots of teams dropping off quite considerably towards the end of the season, as well as you having to play above what you've played for the rest of the campaign. But yeah, they get in the top half. They've had a very good season. You know, when you're sort of on a website and you're looking at like a vintage football shirt and you think, love that. This is the chocolate equivalent.
Oh, yeah, caramel, yes.
That's old school, isn't it?
It is very old school.
Wrapper, the gold foil.
Yeah.
Ooh. It's very 80s and 90s, isn't it? That might make the top 24, mightn't it? What are we going to call it? Top of the chocks. There we go.
Hey, yes.
We're here all week. Well, we're not, technically. We've got to go soon, but you know what I mean. Final game in League Two was a 0-0 draw between Fleetwood Town and Newport County, and it's fair to say that Newport would have been happier with the point. They had 5 shots in the game compared to the Cod Army's 25. But a combination of poor finishing, good goalkeeping, some good defending, and the frame of the goal kept this one goalless. County take the point and run. They got absolutely battered. If this was a boxing match, it'd have probably been stopped after about half an hour. But fair play, they hung in there and picked up a good clean sheet.
Yeah, massive point. Like you said, 25 shots on goal from Fleetwood. It's all about picking up them points and trying to close the gap, and they're slowly but surely doing it, aren't they?
They are, yeah. Just again, they've still got to win some football matches, but they're giving themselves a chance, and that's all you can ask at this stage of the season. Oh, here we go. I'm not the only one with the dad jokes. George Michael used to like a careless whisper. Troy says Lion Bar. That's another good choice. That's solid.
Yeah, solid Lion Bar. Very
solid
good.
Lion Bar.
Double decker.
Matt's gone proper retro as well. Easter 1992. Very specific. Nothing but Yorkie Easter eggs. Easter eggs hit different back in the 90s, didn't they? Whoa. Used to love an Easter egg. You'd bash it open and then you'd have an actual chocolate bar in the middle. And isn't it weird that you get them cheap Easter eggs and they taste really cheap, but they just taste really nice because it's Easter. Someone bought you that chocolate bar in, I don't know, September, you'd go, that's disgusting. Like, that's really cheap. I'm not eating that. But because it comes in a load of shiny foil, it's like, that's the best thing ever you've ever put in your mouth.
Yeah, I think even
it's not that kind of show again before Lee says something, for goodness sake.
I think even the little tiny ones that you get, the little kiddie ones, you used to get
them with like an egg. Do you remember they used to come with an egg cup? I'll show you age.
Yeah.
I also remember when you used to get free toys in chocolate before Elf and in chocolate cereal before Health and Safety went mad. That used to be a great thing to find in like Wheatos and cornflakes.
Cornflakes, yeah.
But obviously now we assume everyone's stupid and's going to eat like a pencil rubber with their morning cereal, and everyone's as thick as mince because the world's gone mad. Mate, we better do top 3 goals because we're well over schedule here, but we shall keep rolling and hope that everyone's enjoying the additional time. Do you want to do yours first?
Yeah, so we'll go Thomas Summit, Bristol Rovers, great strike.
Is this third, yeah?
Yes, third, sorry, mate.
In reverse order.
Yeah, Morgan for Shrewsbury, free kick, very good hit. And then the winner, Vernon, dribble, strike, and the match winner for Grimsby Town.
2 the same.
Oh.
Vernon just missed out for me.
Did he? Not Mickey.
I didn't put Robbie McKenzie in, don't worry. Third place, I had Namdi Offerball for Barnet. Ball played into his feet. Really good touch to set himself and then swiveled and smashed it in left-footed from the sort of the penalty spot into the roof of the net to give his side a big win against Chesterfield. Second was the same as Lee. Ewan Morgan's free kick. whipped around the wall into the bottom corner. He's had a cracking start to life at Salop, to be fair. He's really improved them since he's come in, so one to keep an eye on. And my winner was Kane Thompson-Somers, driving run over the halfway line, dipped inside and whipped an effort into the far corner in what proved to be a really good point at Swindon for his team. So yeah, 4 names mentioned in our top 3. It wasn't loads of, I don't think there was like a screamer, like a 30-yarder in off the bar like you sometimes get, but certainly some good technical goals. Right, player of the weekend. I will take this one first, and my pick is a player that I really like anyway. He was really good at Newport County as a centre-half before moving to Walsall. And it's great to see him back playing after a serious knee injury. I'm talking about this man now on your screen. Priestley Farquharson. I did enjoy this one because he flexed his muscles and pulled his shirt sleeves up after scoring the first. Morgan then did it when he scored for Shrewsbury, but Farquharson had the last laugh and managed to add to his tally and win the game for his side. He's a big lad, isn't he? You won't mess with him.
Unit, isn't he?
Yeah, big, strong, athletic. Really like him. Played 90 minutes, 76 touches, 12 clearances, 4 ball recoveries, 82% of his duels he won. And then he had 2 shots from centre half. 2 of them were on target, and you guessed it, 2 of them went in as well to win the game. Over to you, sir.
So it's Oldham Athletics, Jack Stevens. Great afternoon. Couple of goals for him as well. He's going really well for Oldham. So yeah, had to get me Oldham shouting, didn't I, mate?
Of course, yeah, absolutely. They've had a good run, so why not as well? We're not just picking it because we've not picked them for a while. He had a really good afternoon. I think they both made the team of the week, which was great to see for their respective fan bases. And yeah, 2 big wins for both the Latics and the Saddlers. Right, let's get up that league table and see who is where as we really do start to approach the business end of the season. Here we go, as if by magic. Still the same bottom 2, my friend. It's Newport propping up the table, but they did pick up a creditable, if fortuitous, point at the weekend against Fleetwood, but a clean sheet would do them good. Only 2 points from safety now, despite playing a game extra over Barrow, and they're still in there with Harrogate Town, who are only in there on goal difference, though. Barrow continue to slide towards the trapdoor after another defeat. Crawley Town treading water as well on 28 points in 21st. We then go Bristol Rovers and Tranmere on 31 and 35 points respectively. Cheltenham on 36, but we've said we think Cheltenham will be fine because their form's significantly better than Tranmere at the moment. And then moving up from 17th, the rest of the bottom half of the table is Shrewsbury, Gillingham, Fleetwood, Oldham and Accrington Stanley on 46 points. And then as we start looking upwards towards the playoff places, it's Colchester who occupy 12th, Grimsby in 11th, Walsall 10, Barnet 9, Chesterfield 8. The playoff place is made up from Salford, Crewe, Notts County and Swindon. 7 points separates them in them playoff berths. And the top 3 in reverse order is MK Dons on 62 points, Cambridge on 64, and Bromley extend their lead once again to 4 points with that crucial win over Accrington Stanley. Like you said, mate, they had a little, you can't even call it a crisis, 3 draws on the spin, and then picked up that win again. And that cushion now from the playoff places is 6 points. It would take a monumental collapse, wouldn't it, as we've already said, for Bromley to drop out of the top 3. And I keep saying it, I really think they deserve to be champions. They've been by far and away, for me, the best team in this division all season.
Yeah, I think they have. It'll be a great story as well. You look at Notts County, Swindon, not consistent enough to be like chasing Bromley down in terms of, so I think that's Bromley's bumper as well. And Bromley's home form's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely so strong at home. Having said that, Oldham and definitely now go and beat them tomorrow evening.
Well, James seems to think so, because he said that's going to come to an end tomorrow as the boys from Oldham roll into town. So he's confident of going there and causing an upshot. Why not? It's a free swing for Oldham, isn't it? No one's really going to expect them to go there and get anything, even though they're playing well, because Bromley are simply, well, they are literally impenetrable on their own patch at the moment. No one has gone there and won a football match. But yeah, it's it's getting exciting, isn't it? And it's great that there's still so much to play for. You don't want it all done and dusted with a couple of months to go. Lil Rich is in there, just a little bit of a National League chat. He says York are unbeaten away in the league since the 22nd of March. That is absolutely ridiculous. Not been beaten on their travels for essentially a year. Right,
23, 23 games it is.
Is it 23? Even more impressive, but absolutely phenomenal. There you go, mate. You're getting some help here.
There we go. So,
a lot of love for York. Matt, the Gills fan, says he'd love to see York back in the football. Yeah, I think they are historically a league club. What was their old ground? Was it Bootham Crescent?
Yeah.
Remember Richard Creswell playing for them? Was it up front before he went Sheffield Wednesday?
Yeah, York fans, there we go. That seat is from Bootham Crescent.
Oh, now we love a bit of that stuff. And as Lee's an Owls fan, it's like we talk and plan this. As Lee's an Owls fan, he's seen a picture of it, but here she comes.
Saucy.
Match worn. Theodora, Chopper Chops. Get the owl in. Everybody remembers this cult hero. The man with the big belly flop for a goal celebration, Shefki Kuki. That was sold to me by none other than Gills, former centre-back, Chris Hope. Match worn from our days in the Championship. To be there again. Sid is back in the chat.
He's got a chocolate bar for us, hasn't
he? Oh, William says you can't wait for the chippy.
Yeah, I'm off there now.
There's a comment from Sid. Where have I gone? Have I moved up too far? Wait a minute. Sorry, we've just scrolled right there. Oh, there's load more. Reese has said Oldham fans are brilliant. Right, we'll rush through these line a few comments, and then we really are going to have to blow full time because we have gone. Blimey, this has lasted longer than the Gills' second half. Oh, here we go. Sid says, doesn't matter what end at Rochdale Lee will be in, he will definitely be in the chippy. Yeah. That's a fact. You know him too well, Sid. You know him too well.
I might watch it for a
go up and then Rochdale. They should get a big screen put up, wouldn't they? God, can you imagine how much they'd make on a match day? Unbelievable. Simon says, I hope Vegan United don't go up. Serve Savage right for leaving Macclesfield. Someone's just mentioned, I've just seen it, I can't find it at the moment, about when the Oldham fans turned up there as butchers last season. Absolutely killed me. That was one of the best things from last year.
That was actually, do you know Dom?
Yes.
He were Booze Bus Boys.
There we go. Simon's just mentioned it, wearing butcher outfits when at the ground. Yeah. We tried the food when we went there a couple of seasons ago. It's not proper scran. I get that the owner's doing something different, but I still think you need to cater for all types of people when you're there. So have a vegan section, but have meat for people that want to eat meat, or as I call it, proper food. There are loads more comments, but I do apologise. We're not going to get through all of them because we have gone on for 80 minutes now, so we're well over schedule. And you have to appreciate that myself and Lee do have wives and families as well.
Yeah.
Last one is from Ben, who says, around the grounds, I've watched your videos of late. Can't work out what your team is. Should have been watching, Ben. There's the clue. Well, it's not a clue. If you can't get it from that, you shouldn't be watching. Lee is a Sheffield Wednesday fan, but covers pretty much every ground that he follows and every club that he follows. Absolutely superb.
Although I do like to get a little bit carried away when I'm in an away end and my screen comes out as the card.
You can tell when Lee's having a good day. Yeah, if you watch his Wembley vlog, I think it's Oldham. Yes.
Yeah.
The higher the decibels, and the point where only dogs can understand him is when you know it's a good game.
Sid's comments best whenever he watches it. It's just the screams come back out again. I see, mate.
If you know the screams out, then you know it's a good game to be watching. Right, there's still a few more comments, but apologies to everyone. We're not going to get through all them because we have now done 80 minutes. So we're going to blow full time on this one. So thank you for everybody who has watched, has commented, has given their suggestions for Lucky Confectionary Bar. We do appreciate it every single week because, like myself and Lee both say, these channels don't exist without people getting involved, watching them, commenting on them, agreeing, disagreeing, and all that type of thing. There's still 30 of you in the chat now after 80 minutes. And thank you very much to all of you. We will be back next Monday, of course. But as always, he has been Lee, I've been Matt, and this has been the League 2 Hour.